I think I hope I'm audible enough here. Okay, so first, thanks a lot and TEDx team for putting me up in a tangled situation to untangle. And while I was thinking what I would speak about here, back in the day when there was no social media, while I was in engineering, the only source for motivation, thought-provoking speeches was TEDx. And today I want to explore that student perspective when I was all tangled up and how it all started. And I want to unlock the first knot. So generally life gives you a reality check when you are 12, right? At 12, you started to see the changes that in your life are not just because of a student. This includes exams, school changes, friends changes, and all of that. And you start to understand this particular line in a completely different way. Now, for a 12-year-old kid, it is so important for him to go outside and start enjoying his life. But you start to understand that life slowly become all tangled up because of multiple changes that are happening in your life. Now, when it comes to even my mom, she started. She used to ask about, did you finish your lunch? How was your school? And then she started asking about how is your marks going? How is your class going? How is the board exams going? That's when I started to realize, oh, we have to study, right? Although we don't start immediately, it gives us a early introduction to a rat race that we are pushed into. Now, sometimes I believe, all the students, in fact, all the kids, we are like spiders, right? We're trying to make an intricate, neat, shiny web as we like, and then boom, there comes a broomstick out of blue, and all of there goes the tangled web. In my case, while I was in my school, I was called upon, into an assembly meet where all of our students were there, and they were roll calling us, and we were asked us to stand in two different lines. Yes, performers and non-performers. 2 years later that, when our teachers done that exercise again, they've realized these people were performing the exactly same like they were performing before. The observation is, the teachers focused on the performing group more than the non-performers. The irony is, in the final board exams, what we observed is a lot of non-performer section were outperforming a lot of performers. Now, the problem here is, this is a tangled situation in a student schooling system even today that we have to untangle. The problem is, the one side is always winning, then the other side was all tangled up in the, they were looked down upon. Sections were created for, building the competitive spirit and in the exams, cultural activities, etc. But they were forced to win on the losing side, and on the losing side, they were looked down upon. Now, in this tangled situation, I believe there are certain solutions that you can definitely explore. One is to build a thought process where the curriculum should be thought-driven than the factual-driven. Even today, ChatGPT can give all the facts that you want. And you have to build a collaborative approach towards studying rather than just giving you sections where a performers is divided from a non-performers. They can combinedly work on something. They can teach team building, team management and stuff. Of course, you can say that they're already doing it more, but not for the events like this, national holidays or annual days, but this should be a part of their everyday curriculum course where they have to understand. The other thing is, you can scrap exams. I think everybody would agree with this, but I know it is a very ambitious goal, but the only true way to judge a student is by a project-based learning, and the merit system should be based on that project. So I think only that, so a lot of multinational companies today follow this direction in terms of a project-based merit system. Now, the second knot, I think a lot of people here can relate with this, where we were always told that finish your board exams, you'll find peace. Finish your +1, +2, you'll find peace. You finish your, crack your IIT, you'll have a wonderful life. And, trust me, I'm 25 years right now, and I've built a successful business, and I run a 40-member team. I didn't find peace. And honestly, like, in my case, the moment you're done with your board exams, while you're in search of this peace, there comes a relative who just walks into your house and gives you unnecessary career guidance. In most of the cases, these are the relatives who are messed up with their own life. And like, honestly, if there is a truly successful guy, right, whose thoughts are actually worth while listening to him, I think he will keep his business to himself. In my case, I actually believed these relatives, and I thought cracking JEE is my ultimate goal. It became too ambitious for me. And when I look back now, I believe more than the goal, I think this was a conspiracy theory built by my relatives and parents, and that 10, 20 auntie uncles who they became pseudo-ambitious about my career choices, building a status quo around these graduation institutions. Now I think this is a very tangled up story again for a kid, right? I think this can also be untangled by exploring certain things where you can think beyond STEM approaches, right? Science, technology, engineering, and math. You can think beyond these subjects. You were enjoying the music, the previous session, right? I think these are the things that are more valued today, like creative design, project management, and business strategy. These are things that you can definitely explore. And more than anything, I think for a kid of that age, where you are in 15, 16s, right? I don't think you should be pushed into a direction where you have to be laser focused in this direction. Rather, you can start exploring other options as well. Also, you should start building network, right? Network in those early stages will fetch a lot. Like in my company, there is a kid who is 17 years old, and he has more VC leads than me. So that's something you should definitely explore in that direction. And third and final knot, I think, yeah. The BAP of all knots is basically engineering, right? And I believe any country's issue can be solved with engineering, but engineering issue in this country cannot be unsolved. It's a very irony that I'm saying this is in an engineering institution because for a fact, this is a very tangled up story for our engineers, right? And the fun fact, you guys aren't aware what exactly is happening. Now, in my case, I was pushed into engineering, and generally the game all starts with, again, that relative showing up again. This guy doesn't remember our birth dates. He'll never wish for our birthday, he never comes for our family functions, but on the result date, he appears. And suddenly this guy starts comparing your life, every piece of your existence, with that one Sharma ji ka bacha in your life, who always tries to score above you. Somehow he manages to score above you. Even my mom and my parents started thinking my chances of survival in this cruel, highly competitive, I don't think there is something like that, but there was a point they were calculating. If my mom was thinking, even if I'll get dowry for my marriage, her priorities were very well sorted. Now, I think it's a flawed concept, right? Cruel world, highly competitive world. I believe it's a flawed concept because what we are truly missing is the essence to turn individuals into a kind, compassionate, and collaborative, also great contributors to this world. I think you and I are here. By default, we are in a rat race. You can acknowledge and not acknowledge it, but we are in a rat race where we are struck with a focused mindset and it's in a herd mentality. Somehow, luck on me, I broke this rat race. Of course, life got all tangled up, even complex than this tangled. And it's not easy. it's not an easy job, honestly. Like it is in fact a very hard job to get out of it. And again, the moment you start pursuing something like entrepreneurship, something that out of this rat race, suddenly it becomes everyone's problem. Your relative's problem, your mama's problem, your chacha's problem, everybody's problem. Until unless you are in the rat race, nobody questions you. Everybody applauds you. The moment you are out of the rat race, everybody starts to question. It's a nosy job than an easy job, right? And everybody tries to, everybody tries to hold that thread, find the end of that thread, hand it to you, and take credit for it. You know the true end of this thread, which can resolve your tanglement, is lies within you. All you have to do is hold that thread with all the curiosity and ferocity that you can muster, and then just experience the magic of untangling.